I never said it would be a daily vlog. So, Sunday was yesterday. I went to the local Unitarian Universalist church, and they were Unitarian Universalists. They were like a little pretentious, mostly white, like 95% white, or like 99.4% white. I don't know how many people were there. Uh, and it was Juneteenth, so they were super focused on that. And it was also Father's Day, so they were a little focused on that. Except their Father's Day message was just like, oh yeah, not a lot of people have good relationships with their fathers in today's day and age. So, can be a sad day for a lot of people. And Juneteenth, they were like, oh yeah, cool, freed slaves. Yay. By the way, lots of work to do on that front. Uh, but, uh, it was, honestly, their entire congregation seems a little culty. Like, my other churches didn't have this. They had a dedication where they were just like, oh yeah, we're super dedicated to our church. Everyone stand up and say how dedicated you are to the church. Here's some words. And it's just like, hmm. Uh, cause like, what's the point of saying that together and not being obvious and affirming with your message about why you're doing it? Uh, and they all seemed a little bit like they were reading off of a script. They weren't like, "Oh, I have a couple of notes, and here's what I'm saying in front of this pulpit." They were like, we're very business and serious. I rehearsed this," kind of people. It was lame. But the guy who was giving the service, he was like, "Yeah, so I know we're like celebrating racial diversity all the time here, but we've all looked around, right? Majority white populations at Unitarian Universalist churches." And that was woke. So it was nice to hear that. And he was talking about that too. The overall message was generally like, "Hey, we have some like good work that we're doing in some groups. You all should be aware of it. You old people who aren't participating." It really didn't feel like a good, and I feel like this is true for a lot of churches all the time. It didn't feel like a good sermon for if you're only going to go to that one church once. It was like, oh, okay. But it was good. I checked out their stuff actually. After they had like a coffee hour afterwards, and basically none of the stalls that they had up actively were about racial justice. It was like women's rights, climate change stuff, voting rights. And I know there's like intersections about all of these things because, you know, people in power and governments like to make sure that minorities suffer all of the negative impacts of things instead of white people. So, but yeah, it was a mixed bag. I don't know how active I would be in that if I lived here and was interested in Unitarian Universalism at the time when I lived here. They seem, I don't know, pretentious and inauthentic. And then I went for a real long walk with Nick. We started in West Park, and then we went to Bird Hills, and then we went through some place, and then we ended up at Argo, where I've been running every morning, which has only been 3 mornings. But yeah, it's a nice place. It's a little bit further than I normally run, but it hasn't been too bad on my legs so far, even with all the walking. So I guess I'm in better shape than I thought. On Sunday, I called my parents for Father's Day. Hi, parents. Uh, Talked about some plans and stuff. Oh, sorry, this walk with Nick was also on Sunday. So was this sermon. And then after our walk, we played Counter Strike and Overwatch. I'm a little bit better at shooting in Counter Strike than I expected I would be. My phone still thinks that I have a limited amount of time to record all of my messages. I deleted like 4 hours worth of footage. I don't know what's on with that. Oh well. So I gotta hurry this up by 1 minute. Uh, Today I had therapy. My therapist thinks that I hate things that are inauthentic. I agree with her. Uh, I applied for a couple of jobs. Some of them seem like things that I'm super qualified for. The only problem is that they're in New Zealand, so would need them to think that I'm the most qualified and super worth doing all of the visa stuff. But I wrote a cover letter and everything. And there's an entire job board called Seek for New Zealand and Australia and also China, I think, uh, jobs. And I signed up for that. And so I can find a bunch more there. I signed up for a couple that also seem like kind of cool, but like I'm not super experienced in, so I doubt they'll get back to me. Later tonight, I'll be going to the Necto for like machine factory night. It's where they play like Florence and the Machine and stuff. Machina, I think they call it. Should be a bunch of nerds there. I will not be wearing Skyrim. Instead, I'll be wearing D&D. So that should be fun. Peace.